with his red blue jeans and a flannelette shirt, a well-kept mullet and a packet of smokes. His mates will tell you he's a real top bloke. His real name is Barry, but his mates call him Bazza, and his girlfriend's name is Sharon, but you just call her Shazza. Real top Sheila, real top sword. She'll even change your stubby while you're watching sport. But don't victimize him for his way of life. He's sick and tired of hearing people say nobody likes a bogan. Nobody likes a bogan. He drives a VK Commodore with alloy wheels, with a homemade spoiler made of crappy steel, pair of floppy dice and all the other toys, but his no fear sticker is his pride and joy. Saturday night, the boys hit town, yeah, they're cruising the streets with their windows down. Put on some Barnsley and they're on their way. You'll hear the car coming from a mile away. But don't victimize him for his way of life. He's sick and tired of hearing people say nobody likes a bogan. Nobody likes a bogan. Hey! Nobody likes a bogan. Nobody likes a bogan. Nobody likes a bogan. Nobody likes a bogan. Well, he's the king of fashion in his neighbourhood, with his red blue jeans and a flannelette shirt, a well-kept mullet and a packet of smokes. His mates will tell you he's a real top bloke. His real name is Barry, but his mates call him Bazza, and his girlfriend's name is Sharon, but you just call her Shazza. Real top Sheila, real top sword. She'll even change your stubby while you're watching sport. But don't victimize him for his way of life. He's sick and tired of hearing people say nobody likes a bogan. Nobody likes a bogan.
Hey everyone, it's Michael and
Lewis.
and Ruben from Bullion Now, bullionnow.com.au, coming to you live on a Friday. That's right, we are sponsoring Friday again this year.
Woo!
Yep, Friday is proudly brought to you by Bullion Now.
Lewis and I were looking at each other like, who goes second? You know?
I was looking at my YouTube thing and it still wasn't done. I was looking at you.
We're living in the future here, mate.
So this is the old what's on first, who's on second.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, excellent. Excellent. So, how have we all been?
Pretty good.
Everyone's gone quiet.
Fridays are often insane, and now we've got a Friday accompanied by, that's it, new system, new website, and all sorts of
chaos.
All sorts of chaos. But, you know, we're here.
We are here, and we've even made it in one piece, which I think is a fair effort. I wasn't even sure we were going to get to Friday.
Time was just going to stop, you know, irrespective.
Oh, mate. So, what did we think of the intro song today?
Oh, it was beautiful. It was great. Let's just see how YouTube take it.
So, a big shout out to, it's Area 7, isn't it?
Yes, Area 7.
Big shout out to Area 7. They're a local Melbourne band. So, my son played me that song on the way down here this morning. And I thought, I know where that fits in.
Yeah.
Being a bush pig. I thought that was a good idea as to have as the intro music for the day.
Formed in Melbourne in 1994.
There you go.
They were playing early 2000s ska punk.
Yeah. I thought it was good. Apparently, I'm sitting in the wrong seat.
Oh, you want to swap?
I actually thought this was the side I sat, so I don't know.
Well,
All good. Monotremana, you're a little late for the Black Friday special, even though it's 13th. Today's Friday the 13th.
It
not
is.
that great.
Yeah,
It
we
is.
didn't didn't really have time to kind of do anything to ham that up. But
We should have.
what do you want? You know, just some spooky, some spider webs or something. Or,
Yeah. Well, we should have had. I don't know. We should have had something different for the live auction. That's it. We're doing a live auction today,
yes.
it is special.
It
It is
is.
very special.
and the kickoff price. So it's gonna. If you actually don't go now, but if you actually go to our website now, you'll actually see that the live auction is up and not active. You can actually see the item we're going to auction, and it will go live at 3:00, and you can place your bids from 3:00 today onwards. And I think we set it to finish at 8:00 on Sunday. Now we are setting ourselves up to trip up with this one because we've listed it for $1. And it's a 1 ounce. Actually, why don't you tell us what it is?
1 ounce platinum tiger.
It is a 1 ounce platinum tiger. So you never know. If no one else bids for it, you might get it for $1.
That's it.
So hopefully the live auction system works and you're able to bid for it in $1 increments all the way up to whoever bids for it the most. It is a new one. It's not a buyback or anything along those lines. It's not a damaged stock. It's we decided it was a cancelled order this morning, but I'm not actually sure if it's a cancelled order or if it's one that I kept spare in case we, made a mistake or had something damaged.
We will.
And needed to replace it with.
We will have to check and make sure we're not just waiting to flick a switch because it looks like there's some people that still can't see it up there. So we'll wait and see. We'll get to that segment of the stream and we'll make sure hopefully that's all active and yeah.
Yes. Look, John Smith's actually asking a relevant question there, but my short answer to your questions in regards to the auction is we don't actually know. This is the very first time we've used this. You can't dry run it. You can't practice it in the background. It's either live or it isn't. So we're trying to see how much of a disaster we can make of this. So it may be that we end up, selling 1,500 1 ounce platinum tigers for $1 each or something stupid
we've only
like
got
that.
one in stock, just to clarify.
So we're hoping like mad that it goes according to plan, which means it will start at 3:00 today. The starting bid will be $1. It's for one 2022 Platinum Tiger and in new condition. And hopefully it runs properly and it goes all the way through to Sunday, 8:00 Melbourne time.
Don't read the comment there from Michael. It'll just depress you slightly.
Yeah, thanks a bunch. Don't I know it?
Yeah, so, we've got this this almost video diary of back from 2019. We can.
My great grandkids will be going, look, that's great grandpa.
Apparently, someone's saying it starts at an hour 21. So potentially that's something that we need to look
Maybe
at.
we're starting at 4:00 or
Potentially.
3:00.
Potentially.
No, look, we will if we have to, we'll trigger it manually. We worked out how to do that. Merrin's right on top of it, so
cool.
We should be fine with that. So stay tuned. 3:00 we'll come back to the auction and we'll have a yarn about that.
Cool. Mark Twain says, I saw a King Charles silver coin for 20k. Did someone actually buy that or was that a glitch?
That would have been when we were fixing up the processing orders.
A King Charles?
Yeah.
We don't have any King Charles.
It was a negative stock. We were just adjusting the items, the SKUs.
But we don't have a SKU with a King Charles on it, do we?
Yeah, we do. We're preparing early.
We're attempting to get prepared.
We're preparing
Excellent.
very early.
Yeah, like 12 months. Yeah, okay.
I think it was the Britannias or something from overseas. So it may not be they may not be doing the commemorative ones. It may be one that launches straight into a King Charles.
Okay, I'll have to go back and have a look. That's not one I know.
Either way, someone
You've been
didn't buy
playing
it,
around
and
with DJ
and
with it, so yeah.
someone didn't buy it, and no, that's not what we're selling them at. If we are actually to get them through, it was just us,
$20,000 one out silver coin.
just us making some changes on the website. So.
What we tend to do with when we're playing around with stupid things is we put a ridiculous price on there, so no one will buy it just in case it accidentally goes live for a while. So yeah, that would be the story behind that.
Nick wants to know how many transactions would BN complete on average across all platforms each day. I'm not sure if that's something specifically you can answer, but I don't know. Can you give them a rough idea?
Yeah, look, it sounds like I'm dodging the question here.
Well,
it depends.
To an extent, if you place an order at the start of the day and then place an order at the end of the day, you might even be able to figure it out off the invoice numbers.
Look, it's on a normal day, it's in the hundreds. On a busy day, it could easily top 1,000, particularly with the like when you're including the website orders. In fact, actually, it'd be higher than in the hundreds. Yeah, no, I've never actually gone down and had a look. I know that if we get more than on the old system, our new back end system doesn't work this way, but on the old system, it used to list 50 transactions per page. And I knew if the guys in the shop had done more than 50 transactions in the day over the counter, they'd had a busy day. They were peddling pretty hard. So that gives you some idea, because you've got to remember, particularly over-the-counter transactions aren't done in 30 seconds. They can quite often take 10, 15, 20 minutes per transaction. So, you multiply even 15 minutes. What's a quarter of 50? 25, 12 and a half. So that's 12 and a half transactions per. Hang on, what am I trying to work here? 50 transactions in a day done every 15 minutes. Oh, I don't know what I'm trying to calculate here now. But it's
maths and transactions and things.
So it's the number per hour, I suppose. But it's just we were dealing towards the end of last year. We probably were having somewhere around about 100 to 150 transactions a day over the counter, and then there would be probably half that over the phones, I would guess, because quite often phone calls are more inquiries than, hey, I want to place an order. And then, the web would be 2 or 3 times what we transact over the counter. So to give you some idea.
There you go. There's some good questions there. Hey, Michael, I bought a Ram Gold Rabbit the moment they were released and wrongfully priced $100 higher. Didn't realize until after I paid. I have emailed about it. Hopefully, I can get a credit for the difference.
So, look, there was a misprice on there, and that was actually my fault. The guys were trying to contact me to get the pricing in. I was uncontactable at the time. They took their best stab. And I came back and went, you what? No. Ease it back. So, anyone that bought early and they've got a price difference, either we will pick it up at our end and we'll correct it. If we don't, then we'll absolutely provide, if you've already paid for it, we'll provide you with a credit for the difference. So, don't stress about that. And if we really, really, really forget it, just shoot us an email, give us a phone call or drop into the store and we'll absolutely fix that up.
Mark Twain says, hey, Michael and team, apologies if my website feedback on your Wednesday video was offensive or made it seem like I don't like the new website. I love the new site, just think some things need improvement. We couldn't agree more. we love it too. Look, but it's a process. We got to fix up some things, and that's part of opening it up now to everyone having access is figuring out what those things are. So no, at least I personally don't take offense at all.
Absolutely not. We love feedback, positive and negative, because it... A, positive shows us we're heading in the right direction, and B, negative gives us guidance as to where we're dropping the ball. Because as much as I love to say that we are the premier bullion dealer in the whole world and we're the best and we provide the best service and all that sort of stuff, at the end of the day, I know we drop the ball every so often, and I'm quite happy for people to go, hey, look, we think this is where you need to correct. Sometimes we can do it. Sometimes, it's a problem in the system at the moment. And we talked about this on Wednesday. We've got a problem with the website where it's listing, when we do bulk discounts on listings, it advertises the lowest price. So, which you can't, if you're only buying one kangaroo, you're going to pay far more than if you're buying 250 or more. But it advertises the 250 price as though that's the price if you're only buying one. And I hate that. I really do. So that's a problem that's got to be fixed, but it's nothing I can do about it at the moment. So we will get to it. And then, there's some things that, it's just a reality of business and there's nothing we can change.
There's an important clarification for Wombat that I just actually had to check myself because I didn't realize either, but you have to be logged into your account to access the live auction.
Oh, there you go. I didn't know that.
So not even just to bid on it, but to actually look at what it is by the looks of things. Log into your account, head over to the live thing, and at 3 o'clock, we should be able to kick that off.
Hopefully it kicks off.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Because then we know the system works the way we think it works.
Yeah. What is the compare feature on the website about? Delita wants to know. They could try it, I suppose, but
so you can somewhere on the. I got to admit, I've spent a lot of time in the back end of the website. I haven't spent a lot of time on the customer facing end yet. I plan on doing that hopefully this weekend. The theory is somewhere on the listing, it'll have a little box you can tick that says compare. And you can list you can get 3 or 4 different products that you tick that on, and it will generate a report for direct comparisons between those products. So you might say, well, look, I want to compare a Kangaroo, a Britannia, a Maple, and a Krugerrand. So you tick the 4 boxes on those, and then it will bring you up a chart that runs them side by side. So you can say, yeah, look, they're all 1 ounce, they're all silver, they're all this current year's. This is their pricing. So this one's a little bit dearer than that one. That one's a little bit dearer than that one. Oh, actually, that one's much cheaper, but that's because it's a 1/2 ounce, not a 1 ounce. So it allows you to just put up a direct comparison on the page of, I think it's limited to 4 at a time, of 4 items. So you can just, go through each step and see what's different about each one.
Coffee Boy says, how much does it cost for storage per month?
I don't know on a per month basis. On an annual basis, we're currently charging. This will change.
You used to say sometime in the new year, but yeah.
Yeah, look, it will change because the new insurance bill I got made my eyes water heavily. They are really squeezing us, so it will change. But currently, it's 0.5% of the spot price value of the items in storage for 12 months. So I don't know what that works out to be on a monthly basis, but it's 0.5% divided by 12.
Someone wants to know is there going to be any commission on the auctions like a standard auction?
No. The auction items, we're not auctioning at this stage, although it is a discussion that's going on. We're not auctioning anyone else's items. We're actually only auctioning Bullion Now owned items. So we own them. So there's no commission. There's no buyer's premium. There's nothing. It's whatever it ends up with is what you pay.
Stephen says, I bought some unallocated silver last Friday and still haven't got the receipt.
No, look, there is this is becoming a Wednesday live stream, not a Friday live stream. So, look, we are, I don't want to overcook the pie here or whatever you call it. We're not having drastic troubles in the back end, but we've got the new system and we're very carefully introducing new things. We are having a feed issue between the bank. This is what we've been paid, and lining that up with this is the invoices we've got. So there's a bit of a delay that we're almost at the end of, we think, between you placing the order on the web at the moment, sending in payment, and then our system actually recognising that. So we're having to drive that manually. So absolutely, if you've placed an order since the website's gone live, it may be that it's still showing as processing or unpaid or not in the system at this stage. So just take a deep breath. We will absolutely have received the order. If you've sent the payment, I will almost guarantee that we have received the payment. Don't panic. If you are a little bit stressed about it because it's a larger amount or a first-time transfer or anything like that, you can give us a call, 1300 84 84 10, and either Sylvia or Con will be able to give you a manual confirmation on, yes, we've received that, or no, we haven't.
Aussie Kelby wants to know when does the Berlin Money Fair Kookaburra arrive? When does that actually get released? Is it right on launch of the Berlin Money Fair?
Yeah, technically it comes out the Berlin Money Fair, which kicks off, I want to say the 1st of Feb, but it might be a day or so later. But yeah, quite often you'll find, because they take all of them, they take a good chunk of them to Berlin to sell over there, but they also release some to the dealers in Australia. So you'll find that they will very soon, to the start of February, you'll see those starting to appear in the store.
Cool, good stuff. Brooke wants to know if you have a favourite coin.
I have many favourite coins. That's
I'll
the problem I have.
pose that one to Lewis as
Yeah,
well.
I was going to say, ask Lewis.
Silver wise.
Yeah, let's go silver.
Silver Eagle.
Oh, okay.
Platinum is the Platinum Tiger. Very
Right.
coincidental with this live stream's theme, but yeah.
What about older coins? Like,
Old, like
or bars?
I'll have to have a think about that. I'll get back to you on that.
What about you, Rubes?
Oh, I feel like I'm jumping on the bandwagon by saying it, but if we're talking, actually no, I'm gonna say Britannia. I'm gonna say Britannia. I like the security. Like if we're just talking kind of staple silver coins, there's kind of one-off, kind of I'd say more collectible ones or whatever that I like. But if we're talking kind of the world stable coins, I'm gonna go with the Britannia. There's the security features on there. I think it's a great, well-designed coin, and I have a soft spot for England. So I think it ticks all those boxes for me.
Yeah. No, well, if we're talking straight bullion, like government produced,
Yeah.
the Philharmonic's my favourite every day of the week. So with the maple running a very close second. Yeah. So.
All right. I think we've got to do some catch up. We've got quite a few questions
Yeah,
piling up.
Somebody, sorry, mate, I'm going to jump in front of you because it's been asked a couple of times in different ways. I mentioned on Wednesday about the buybacks, how January's buyback month,
Yeah.
and we seem to get inundated with buybacks on January, and today's been no different to every other day this week. I don't think I was clear enough. The buybacks are coming into the store. They are being sold in the store. They haven't hit the website yet. I'm hoping that they actually do hit the website this time because we do have a number of them in store. But with the introduction of the new website, they may or may not make it in time. I don't suggest that you email or phone in because the guys just don't know on the phones and emails what's in the store because it comes and goes too rapidly. So stand by is the best answer I can give you at the moment. If you can't come into store because you're interstate or not Melbourne local, I completely understand and I apologise. I will endeavour to try and hold some of the 1 ounce coins back so in the next week or so we can actually list them to the web. But they are very much, and I know there's a couple of emails come through saying, Michael mentioned these, I want to place an order for any non-kangaroo type ones. Lucky dip is lucky dip. You can't specify anything. You have to assume that it's going to be the mouldiest, kicked around, most horrible coin you can see on earth. And then if you get something that's better than that, well, that's a bonus. So we don't take requests on buybacks. It is what it is. And it literally, it's not that we go through and sort out, I like this person, they can have that one. We literally don't have time for that. It's a case of you grab a handful, you stuff it in the bag, and away it goes. There's no rhyme or reason to it, and that's the reason we can charge a low price. They're only $5 over spot because we don't sort them or anything along those sort of lines. Because if I have to start paying staff time for sorting things out, responding to emails, all that sort of stuff, the price has to go up. It's just that simple.
You were ruining my quick fire answers.
Sorry, mate. Go for it. I'll shut up now.
Any 2 ounce bars coming through?
No, 100 grammers is as close as we go at the moment.
Yep. Did we manage to get any orders for the 10 ounce Robin Hoods? And will there be enough for everyone if we did?
I haven't. At this stage, the answer is no.
If I took this one, maybe longer, so we may have to cut it brief. If I took some Aussie GST-free coins to the UK and was paid with VAT included in the buyback process, would I automatically have a 20% gain as per the
Hang on.
VAT?
I might need to read this one so I can work it.
It's from Nick. I'm going to say no because I think a lot of the things like that, it's going to be VAT inclusive.
Okay, found it. If I took Aussie GST coins to the UK and was paid with VAT included on
in the buyback, so if you were then selling them in the UK and it was VAT included,
your problem's going to be that if you get stopped at the border, they're going to charge you VAT going in. So legally, if you're carrying silver coins into the UK, they will charge you VAT as you go through customs. Whether they do or not, I don't know, and I can't comment. But that's my understanding of it. Absolutely, if you go through and you sell them, and the buyer that is buying them off you includes VAT in the process, and then you leave the country, then you would. But I don't know how it works in the UK. In that, I'm not willing to comment on someone else's business in the UK, but most places that I get, I sell back to when I go to the UK. If I'm selling silver, the price they give me is a low price, but includes VAT, so it doesn't worry me too much. I don't lose anything, even though I don't pay GST on them in Australia. By taking them into the UK, I don't tend to lose anything because including VAT is about what I pay in Australia for them.
Plumer says, do we sell the gold Pixiu statue that we had a while back, and do we have much of that type of bullion in store? We haven't actually, because we were still deciding what to do with that. But I would say that was kind of a little bit, at the moment anyway, a little bit of a once-off. I haven't seen anything kind of similar to that. But it does every now and then happen, so we'll probably keep dragging them in front of camera if we do. With the product compare page, is there any plans to add a price per gram?
Hang on.
Right.
We've still got the Pixiu.
Yeah. No, I was saying that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's still there, sitting in the
still got
safe. I saw it just before we came on live stream.
Yep.
We'll possibly throw it up for an auction, but if you're really keen on it, phone in and leave your details with Con, and I will work out the price on it. I actually have no idea what the price is on it yet.
With the product compare page, is there any plans to add a price per gram row? So to kind of list it by price per gram as opposed to,
Can you ask me that question in a month's time?
Right.
I don't even know if it's a possibility.
Put
I'd
it
have
on
to go and
Yeah.
look.
Any XAG silver rounds coming into stock?
XAG silver rounds. Yes, there's some. I tell you what, we do have. They will launch early next week, so don't jump the gun on me. We've just got in a whole stack of XAG 1 ounce minted bars, and they look the bee's knees. So look out for those next week.
Why is Bullion Now not on the Australia, New Zealand, Victoria spot in Perth Mint's distributor list?
That's an excellent question, and one that Perth Mint asked me just before Christmas. So we need to go and get that sorted out.
Can we expect any type of eagles from the States to come into our store? Hopefully, if the premiums come down.
The premiums are starting to turn, so I'm not willing to say no, but it needs to come back a little bit before I'm willing to commit to them.
Yeah. Would we ever put any of Smithy's stuff up onto the live
Yes.
auctions?
Yes, absolutely.
Are King Arthur's still in stock, or are we
Yes.
out?
No.
Okay, because I think the website was potentially showing out, so we may have to.
No,
look at
there's some
numbers
still
there.
in stock because I accidentally gave them to someone as Britannia's day before yesterday.
Marie says, "Hi Michael, after you said on Wednesday that you had plenty of non-kangaroo coins in buyback, I emailed immediately for 20 ounces and I'm still waiting for a reply.
My apologies.
I want to spend, work with me."
Yeah. Hang on, wait till you see them hit the website.
Yeah, you didn't see the guys in the shop and on the phones actually smack Michael after Wednesday. And,
I was quietly taken out the back and beaten for that one.
we may need to look at the unallocated silver on our website to make sure we still have some there. Are we getting any more 1 ounce gold kangaroos?
Yes.
Are we still getting 22s? Or
We are still getting 22s, although Perth Mint is on the run out on those, so expect to see them disappear entirely within a couple of weeks.
Do you know of a silver lunar rabbit with dragon privy release date?
No, I actually saw that question go through. No, I don't. I'd actually forgotten they did it, so I'll have to chase that one up.
I still haven't received my Bullion Now tour shirt. I'm just wondering if you still have them or is it lost in the post?
No. They were, the last of them was dispatched this week. I want to say it was Thursday, but I think it was actually Tuesday or Wednesday. So the last of them were dispatched. However, if you requested Matt's signature on it, because we had to get some different sizes in that we'd run out of, if you're one of the lucky ones that said, I want Matt to sign it, Matt and Michael to sign it, we're waiting for Matt to come back. He's gone on sick leave to have some... I probably shouldn't say because it's...
he's away for a bit.
He's away for a week. So he will be... It's nothing drastic. He's just... Oh, bugger it, I'm going to say it. He's had to have a tooth removed. So, he will be back next week. I'll get him to sign them and then we'll flick them straight out. So if you've been waiting, it should not be more than about 2 weeks before you have them hanging in your cupboard.
Did you charge extra for the autographs?
Oh, absolutely. Of course we did.
No. We should be paying a price in these at a premium for the shirts. We should list them on the web.
Live auction tour shirts.
Yeah, signed.
Michael, do you think the Perth Mint will ever make a 1 ounce gold kookaburra coin, and have we ever raised the question with them before?
I have. Then they have no intention of doing it because they can't keep up with what they've got at the moment.
Can staff participate in the live auction? That's actually not a question asked by one of us, but I think that's the question. I mean, we have accounts. So I don't know.
Look, in theory,
It's
I think
potentially
through
an
that
issue.
one.
Yeah.
My answer was going to be I can't see why not, but I guess that could be seen as us trying to drive the price up. So yeah, we probably shouldn't.
Let's say no.
Yeah, we'll put a kibosh on that one.
Jay says, greetings from the States. Has there ever been any thoughts on opening a BN branch here? Thanks again for being a great source of knowledge and help, Michael.
Yes,
There's
Brett
been
is
thought about
pushing for Bullion Now, Texas. Has been for about 18 months now.
EE says, hi, Michael, Lewis, and Ruben. Hello, EE. Will you be doing allocated pools as the website mentioned, or is it only the unallocated program?
I have to go and that slipped in. The allocated pool, as far as I'm aware, but I need to go read the wording on it, is actually our unallocated program. A lot of other companies, some other companies, I should say, call them allocated pools, and I'm 99% sure that has slipped onto our website for some reason. I've obviously made a comment and someone's picked up on it and typed it in. The allocated pool is our unallocated program.
Which means you buy it and it gets set aside as yours, they're ready and yeah.
So the theory being our unallocated, we tried to explain this on Wednesday, but the internet broke on us. So the unallocated is you don't specify what it is, so it joins the general pool of gold or silver of that metal, just as a general holding. It's only once it becomes allocated that you actually now, or once you specify what you want it held in, that it actually converts over and comes out of that pool.
MP says, Michael, when is
Thank
the
you.
live chat going to be live? I've asked 2 questions on it a few days ago, but no reply. What's
I
the
hadn't
go?
realised, none of us, comes from focusing too much on the back end of the website and not the forward facing. None of us realised that it was actually displaying the live chat.
Chat now.
Chat doovie in the corner there. And so none of us were actually logged in, and I believe right at the moment they've fixed it and it looks like I'm logged in on the live chat, which I only found out 30 seconds before I came onto the live stream. So none of us had realised that icon was up there and that people were actually leaving messages. So I humbly apologise for that. That was a screw up on our side. As far as I'm aware, that problem has been fixed. But please don't leave a live chat at the moment because I'm apparently live on there and I'm not. So I will fix that. I'll log out when I get back, when I get a chance to get off the live stream here. So, apologies for that. Any questions that you have asked in there, it will have logged and we'll be able to work our way through those early next week and actually respond. And then it should become a live chat yet again.
There's still a bunch of questions we need to catch up to, but we said 3 o'clock we were going to be doing this, this auction
Is it live?
number 0001. It doesn't look like it. Let me actually click on it and see, because they may have thrown the switch and I just haven't actually refreshed anything. So let's wait for that to
So now
load.
the whole website slows down.
Probably.
Everyone is now logging on.
I haven't been able to go on it.
Let's do some questions whilst that's going on in the background there. Ray Williams says, let me start again. Ray Williamson says, will you be building unallocated balances into the new website so we can see our unallocated balances?
At the moment, because I had this conversation very, very recently because it's being asked more and more. I think they might not be able to display it on the screen, but what you're going to be able to do is click here for your unallocated balance. That will send a message to the back end of our system, which will shoot you an email that will give you your unallocated statement. Okay. So I know it sounds like the long way around to get the answer, but it seems to be the easiest way for them to get it onto the website. So, and mate, I'm into easy, so that's the way we're looking at doing it. So hopefully within... give us 2 months, but I'm hoping within about a month or so that action is live.
JJ is chasing still his 2-ounce twin maple leaf coins. When are we getting them? And or 1 ounce gold maples?
Good question on the 1 ounce gold. The 2 ounce,
not looking likely.
Not looking likely. The 1 ounce soon.
Michael wants to know if you've heard anything about the Royal Mint doing another James Bond minted themed bar this year.
I've heard rumours, but I've heard no fact.
Yep. Any plans on another New South Wales meetup?
No plans, but once the website and the new back-end system calm down a little bit, which won't be for probably 2 weeks, Ruben and I have an appointment to sit down, and possibly with Matt as well, and we're going to nut out what we're going to do from that side of it for the rest of the year. So ask the question again in about 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks.
Brett wants to know what happened to the Libertads that were discussed late last year.
The ones that I keep saying no comment on. The answer is no comment.
The answer is no comment. We're still trying. Gary said, "Hey, Michael, I went to the Ram on Wednesday. It was an awesome experience. Minted my own $1. Still think the Perth Mint tour was better." It's all right. You can mention the Perth Mint tour them because you had an experience. We may have already shared this on camera, but you had an experience at Ram and they didn't actually know about the Perth Mint.
They kind of knew who the Perth Mint was. Though the person that was like the tour guide went, "Yeah, I think there's one over in Perth." Yeah, I don't know what they do though, but yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a mint over there.
Have we ordered any of the big 5 1-ounce platinums? Seen lots on some overseas websites.
We haven't yet. That's hopefully a conversation I'm having with the South African Mint when I get over there.
You should do an entire stream like that. Do we have any platinum Yales in stock? There were heaps before the shutdown, but doesn't seem to be any now.
As far as I'm aware, there's still about 20 left in stock.
That may be something that we have to check and
that
make sure is up on the website. It may not have come
that
across.
that was before we opened the shop, so they may have sold.
Yep.
But on the stock take we did, I'm pretty sure there was 20. Pretty sure there was 20.
Where were we?
The auction has not started yet, so I'm going to send an email to. I don't know what that's doing there. I'm going to send an email through to someone and get them to hopefully fight. Actually, I can do it from here. If you can handle me multitasking.
Your website mentions PayPal, but there's no option to pay with PayPal.
No. Excuse me. PayPal has been held off for now. We're trying not to complicate anything. We're trying to keep everything really simple at the moment. So if we can... We've removed the option to pay by PayPal. The intention is to reintroduce it, but at this stage it's not available. And I have to say, just on a more overview of that, I would like us to move away from PayPal, if at all possible, later on. But that is subject to feedback from our customer base.
Will we be substituting that for credit card payments or that type of stuff?
Possibly, yeah. Look, my fear is if we introduce credit card payments on the web, then people, because we don't accept credit card through the store at the moment, my fear is that people will start expecting it through the store, and then we have to start increasing our pricing because it costs more to pay those charges. So I've always pushed back against that. I don't know on that one. Let me get back to you on it. As far as other options, the reason we introduced PayPal was purely for the international buyers. It wasn't really meant to be a domestic thing. So we're introducing other options for international people to pay rather than PayPal. But we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Sounds like the auction might be lagging out the website a little bit, but it still may not be live. Although someone suggested it might be because it's looking at the wrong time zone or something like that, and they may have set it for 3 and it's actually 3 somewhere else.
I just got a message through to say that they're looking at it, so I'm expecting it to go live any second.
Yeah. Andrew says, "Hi, how long for replies to emails requesting shipments of orders? I emailed earlier in the, I'm guessing, week. But yeah, what's the go with combined shipping email requests?"
There is absolutely no problem with them, and they're processed usually that day. So if you send an email, overnight, usually we'll open it up first thing in the morning and go, "Yep, no worries," and we'll flick the response to you. 2 problems at the moment. One is we came back from Christmas to well in excess. I know the first day they cleared 1,200 emails, and they're still grinding through them. So there was a whole lot of backlog there that they're working through. And the second problem is that there's a little bit of an integration issue with combined shipping at the moment with our back end. And I know they've had issues with it earlier this week. So you may find they're just trying to sort that out before they issue it to you. But you should get it within, hopefully today. But if not today, it'll be Monday.
There's some There's a little bit of a reassurance from Dark Hearts there, Michael. I really like the new website, Michael. Worth all the stress to keep your loyal customers happy. So keep that in mind whenever you're sitting there sobbing, going, oh.
Really? You too can have grey hair like this at 21.
I have some coins in the 3-month storage. Am I able to organise with you to get someone else to pick them up, or does it have to be me only?
So long as you communicate with us in writing that someone is picking them up and you need to designate who that is, then we can organise it from our end.
I have Mark Twain says, I have a spreadsheet that helps me track prices of coins. I use a lot of your products to compare prices, but since the new site went live, all links are dead. Any chance they will go live again?
I don't understand which links we're talking about here.
Potentially to specific product pages, in which case, if they've
You'd have
changed
to-
ever so slightly, then...
Yeah. So what? The computers, your computer, when it looks at our website, doesn't look at bullionnow.com / whatever SKU number it is. It actually looks at it's just a series of help me, Ruben. What is it when they talk in machine code? Like the websites are actually in.
What, binary?
Well, they're not quite binary, but it's like 162.13.148. So what actually happens in the back end of all internet sites is they are pointed to that. But if your computer's looking at it, it's looking for that coding. Now, because we've updated the website, the one that used to go to bullionnow.com / SKU number now goes to a completely different website. So what you're going to have to do is just update your links.
Yep. I don't want to. I'm hesitant to say this because I don't want everyone to rush over there and potentially crash it. But it looks like the auction is up and going, and it is jumped from $1 to 300. So
wow,
it's up
$300 for a
for a 1 ounce
for
platinum.
a 1 ounce platinum tiger's worth going
it's a
for.
steal.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely moving by the looks. Where were we?
400 now.
Oi.
You've got till Sunday night before the auction closes, so relax.
Michael, is creating a BN courier fleet still on the cards for 2023?
Oh, it absolutely is. I am done with couriers.
I'll volunteer to be the interstate transit person.
Oh, dear.
Gary Johnson's having a go at me. He says I look 21 in dog years.
Amanda says, can Australians use wires to pay?
There's no reason why you can't.
There you go. Would we ever do unallocated with palladium and rhodium?
It's too strong an answer to say no to that. I will take a little bit of convincing to do it.
Goat says, has anyone ever sold you guys a bimetal coin?
Yeah.
And when they do, is it just the value of gold you pay for?
It depends on it. So if you sold us back a gilded anything, so gilded tiger, gilded rabbit, gilded, you know what I'm talking about, like the Perth Mint ones that they produce, we wouldn't pay for any of the gold on that because it's such a microscopic amount that it's not worth it. We got some, I think they're Olympic, but they might be Commonwealth coins. I can't remember now. That were bimetal. They were gold, silver. We paid it. There was quite a bit of both in that, so we paid out both.
Cool. Where are we going?
Mark Newcomb, yes, we have 100 gram germania bars in stock.
I was just typing that.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll hopefully be getting those up soon. We still need to release the video on them, but yeah, they should be going up shortly. I reckon we look at a couple of news items that we were going to take a look at. If you're right, unless there's anything else you quickly want to jump on.
No, go for it, mate. Go for it.
So there was this one here that I wanted to go through, and you actually sent me the link for, Michael. And
I love this one.
I'll put that up there so people can see. It says New South Wales police seek owner of huge silver ingot found on Milestone Beach near Coffs Harbour.
Can you just see, you're going along beachcombing with your metal detector and it goes off and you dig down in the sand a bit and then there lies 1,000 ounce bar.
Yep.
32 kilos of silver.
I've just won the lottery.
Mate, I don't know how it washes in. Like, surely the density of that prevents it from washing in offshore.
Yeah, I don't think that was washed in from offshore. I think someone dumped it there the night before.
Yeah, like, brings a whole new meaning to something. BJ's just beat me to it.
Yeah.
Whole new meaning of, the change falling out of your pocket when you're on the beach.
It cracks me up though. There's a little comment there, and the key points are cracking me up. And I realize they're not giving exact dimensions, but it says the exact dimensions of the bar are not being revealed, and they've just put a photo next to a 30 centimeter ruler.
Yeah, I reckon
So,
I can.
yeah, we're not giving you the exact dimensions, but here it is next to an accurate piece of, an item used to accurately measure things.
Rubes,
It's
you've
like, come
handled a number of 1,000-ounce
on.
bars.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me, would you know the dimensions of them? Seriously?
Yeah.
Like,
So-
I mean, give me a break.
Yeah. And even, I mean, obviously, potentially at that size, you might be taking photos or noting down numbers. But, even if I've got plenty of bars and whatever that I don't note down the serial numbers on them. Like if they said, hey, prove it's yours by giving us the serial number, I don't know.
Well, we've already got some takers on the bar. Someone said it just fell out of his pocket while he was on the beach.
Yeah, that's
There you
right.
go.
Look, I think I get the difficulty that they need someone to come forward and say that's mine because it's X.
Yeah.
But give me a break here.
Yeah. I figured that one was a little hard.
Just look for the guy that's sweating a lot because he's got to try and explain to his wife how he lost a 1,000-ounce bar.
Question there, is LCS likely to get any of the Germania Mint Fenrir coins? I might be butchering that, but yeah, specifically the Germania coins, not just the bar.
Possibly is the answer. Again, you're going to have to wait till we get back from Berlin on that one.
And there was another one that I wanted to go through. Let me whack that one up there. And it's to do with a gold can.
Oh, you were talking to me about this one.
I was. I thought this one was a bit interesting. So there was a brewery over in Scotland that ran a competition. And it was kind of, they said, very inspired by the Willy Wonka, golden ticket. And the idea was that's it. They'd have these golden cans hidden amongst, regular packs. And it backfired a little bit on them because they were putting out tweets saying, oh yeah, it's solid gold kind of thing, and it was later discovered that they were actually plated as opposed to being completely solid gold, and it's caused a bit of a financial issue for them, and they've had to pay some back.
Like I was saying to you when you were talking to me about it, like how thin is the wall of an aluminium can?
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you could plate it. Like they're not that thick.
Well, they must be. If it was enough to cause controversy, they must be.
I don't know. I mean, obviously it is, but I just thinking, man, like by the time you plated it, that's the thickness of the wall of an aluminium can anyway.
Yeah.
So
he had to. He actually then ended up having to pay them back out of his own pocket as opposed to the businesses. But the interesting comment on that one that I noticed as well is that he said he is now the proud owner of 40 of the cans, but wasn't sure what to do with them, adding all ideas were welcome. So. There's 40 gold-plated beer cans out there somewhere.
well, surely he didn't pay solid gold price for them.
I don't know. Apparently, like the original claim was that they were worth £15,000, so ballpark $30,000. And his complaint was actually that evaluation is correct. So I don't know if he's claiming he's obviously not claiming that from the gold point of view, but potentially with the artistic side or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So
You're really heading down a what is its true value kind of a thing, but. I thought that was an interesting one, seeing gold bleed into the mainstream a little bit like that.
Yeah,
Is it likely to put a dampener on gold in that sense?
Nah.
Other businesses or whatever are going to look at it and go, oh, we need to make sure we don't screw up like that.
I mean, that's just a misunderstanding of.
Yeah.
He's gone to a supplier and the supplier said, yeah, look, I can get you gold cans. He's assumed that. Well, that means they're gold cans. And my query, what I'd want to know is more information on what he paid for them. If he paid $5 for them and he's valuing them at $15,000, or pound, exchange that for pounds, then he's an idiot. Yeah. But if he's just like they've said, look, these are worth X, and I don't know how the promo material would work on that because surely he would have paid for them. But like if someone's led him to believe that they're solid gold and they're worth $15,000 from a gold perspective, then,
I very much got the impression that that's it. It really was just a miscommunication about what he thought the competition they were going to be running versus what actually ended up happening, and that's it. He's done the right thing by coughing up and trying to sort it out for everyone. So
Yeah.
bit of a PR disaster, but
I mean, it's easy for us to say you idiot, but we deal with gold every day. If somebody said to me, something about beer, I'd take them at face value because I've got no clue about brewing beer or how it's supplied. I don't. I mean, straight out, I'm not a big beer drinker. I go for the old apple cider, but. I just go, oh, yeah, okay. If somebody I thought was a beer expert and, said X, Y, and Z, I'd take them at face value.
Yeah.
So, I really feel for the guy without knowing the full details on it.
Yeah, exactly. Raymond Raymond reckons you get at least 10 cents back for the recycling.
Only if you go to what do you get in South Australia if you
10
can?
cents.
Yeah, only in South Australia. We don't do that in Victoria.
Yeah, or Scotland. I'm not sure if you'd get away with bringing in the Scottish can. Although if I was working down there, I'd probably let it slide just so I could.
From a collector's perspective, like there's only 50 of them? There's only 50 of them in existence, and this is from a brewery. Like they've absolutely got a value to them on the collector's market. So whether it's £15,000 or not is open to debate, but absolutely they've got a collector's premium to them, and I'll bet it's a higher premium now than it was a week ago before the article came out in the newspaper.
That's true.
I'm seeing is there any questions there that you guys want to touch? Because I'm just going to quickly have a read through of some of the emails just to check some things. So if you guys could cover me for 2 seconds.
Probably heaps of them. There was one on a $10 coin, but it's just disappeared off my page. Oh, there you go. Apparently you can get also in New South Wales. Oh, I did know New South Wales you get your 10 cents.
Every state except Victoria, I think it is.
Good old Victoria.
That's why I see cans lying around the streets.
Alrighty. I've got an email question here. This is actually one from right at the end of last year that's missed. So apologies to anyone that sent them through. Hopefully we'll work our way through some of them. Hi BN/Michael. Do you know if a premium must be paid on the digital SLV or silver contracts when converting to physical for delivery/pickup the same way your unallocated does? If yes, wouldn't that mean that the paper/spot price is illegitimate and the premiums on physical silver are reflective of a legitimate valuation? So, if you can't actually get delivered the silver for that price, then isn't kind of the going, the silver plus premium the more accurate representation of the price?
Absolutely it is. But, I mean, we've been arguing this for many years. The problem is that it depends what you're converting it into as to how much the premium is going to be. So you've got to look at it as I'm paying for the component, like the metal component. But yeah, you're right. We often talk about the fact that there is a paper spot price and a physical spot price, and never the twain shall meet.
A question in chat there. Do we have any anti-sniping stuff on the auction? Does the time limit extend if someone bids just before closing?
Not that I'm aware of. I hadn't even thought of
that. Neither had half the other people, and now everyone else is thinking about it. There's another question here, and you may tell me off for asking this one later on, but we'll see. Hi Bullion Now. If a serial number has obviously been scratched off a bullion bar, would we still buy it back at spot? No questions asked. A defaced serial number would obviously raise eyebrows and seem dodgy, but we could always sell it to a refinery to be melted down.
Look, yeah, we'd have. Obviously, we're still going to test it. We're still going to weigh it because if you've removed half an ounce of gold by scratching out the serial number, we're not going to pay you for the full amount. But there's no legal reason why we can't buy it back.
Yeah.
Well, if you've scraped enough out, then the stamped weight doesn't match the weight of the bar itself.
Stamped weight is different to the serial number, though.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I mean, you could etch anything you wanted into a bar. So you could get a 1 ounce bar and you could etch in this is really 1 kilo. Doesn't make any difference.
Yeah.
And from a GST perspective, it has to be an investment grade metal that has a mint mark on it, and I can't remember the exact term, but at the moment, it has to be some recognisable weight. So like the Panda gets away with it because the Panda doesn't have purity stamped on it, or it doesn't have weight stamped on it. I can never remember which way around it is. But whichever way it is, it still gets under our law because it's a recognised amount, a standard recognised amount. So it kind of doesn't matter if you scratched it out. and it was now the incorrect weight, there's no it doesn't change the legality of it.
Oh, okay.
Can you bid from America or anywhere internationally, or is the shipping just too much?
Well, now you're putting me on the spot. Yes, you can bid from... There is no theoretical reason why you can't bid from the States. Just understand that you're going to be paying in Australian dollars, not US dollars. Yeah. And the shipping would be negligible in the grand scheme of things without actually sitting down and doing a calculation. I can't see shipping being more than, don't shoot me, Emma, $25 Australian. I guess, don't hold me to that. That's just a really rough guess. I don't think it'd be much more than that.
Not sure what your comments will be on this one, Michael, but I'll ask it anyway. Nick says, what do you think to Robert Kiyosaki's prediction of $500 silver in 2023? For someone with a lot of influence, they think that's a very poor prediction.
I have played around with bullion for almost 50 years now, almost all my life. I have been hearing these predictions for many, 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 many years. Let's wait till we get through $50 an ounce before we talk $500 an ounce.
Yeah. We'll see how you respond to this one. 49's Fine wants to give a shout out and also a humble public apology to Toll. My last several deliveries have been on time, more than making up for past gremlins. I'm now more confident and happy to use them.
Good on you. I'm not going to end up in a court case over this one.
There's a request there to, at some stage open up the live auction for customers to potentially sell their goods. It's something that we've definitely thought about, but not something we're going to commit to. Absolutely, yes, we're going to do it at this stage, but it is definitely on the cards. We'll see what happens.
It's a conversation that's occurred. At the moment, we're just trying to get the flaming thing to work the way we want it to work. So a few deep breaths there, but when the world stabilizes, 6 months' time, come back to me with that question, and we'll see where we've got to.
There's a web dev in chat. Let me know if you want someone to fix that volume discount pricing display issue for you.
I would love that, but I'm not going. Well, it is important to us, but it's well down the list on the level of importance of some of the things we're trying to fix. So, but absolutely, send us your resume or your ability or what you are, and to sales at Bullion Now, and we'll have a look at it.
Admiral says, my favourite coin is the 2-ounce Kraken from Canada, but it's so hard to find in Australia now. It's a nice coin, and it's an awesome series.
It's a great coin. I'm just trying to think if we've got any.
I don't think so.
No, I think we ran them out late last year.
I think so. I think we actually listed a few of those up on the web.
Oh.
I think the last couple we have left out there.
Sorry.
No, far away. Go for it.
Got an interesting question from Michael Carroll. Could the locally produced brands gain a cult following, such as XAG, XAU, even potentially CPG products?
My actual answer to that is no. However, I'm wrong. Okay, because XAG has proven that, in that when the XAG brand was first kicking off, they produced some coins, and they produced some practice coins or demo coins, or I don't know, whatever you want to call them, trial coins, and they have absolutely gained a cult following on those. There's one of them, and I'll get it wrong, but it's one of the one with the ram on. It's one of the mirrored finishes. I can't remember which one, but that sells. I think it might even be over $2,000 now when that goes up. So look, they could. My answer is I don't think the standard XAG, XAU that's being produced now would. Having said that as well, the other branch where it might increase in price is what we're starting to see now, which is the older brands from the 70s, 80s, 90s that were common back then. They are starting to, they've well and truly been bought out and closed down, gone out of business. The old Harringtons, those type of things, not the new Harrington. I'm referring to the old brand. They are now gaining a collector premium built into them, even though I said they never would. They are now gaining that cult following. So that could also be if XAG disappeared off the market tomorrow and wasn't seen of again in 20 years' time, you may find that it's developed a cult following because all the 97% of the XAGs have been melted down by then, and there's only a few remaining.
Another question that customers have said that I've heard around the traps is, how come some locally produced 1 ounce gold bars or, locally produced cast bars look different? The colour is different to that of a Perth Mint cast bar. Is it just the way the light reflects on the bar?
It could be. It could be there's a few things. It could be the way that the chemicals they're using when they're refining. It could be the chemicals that are used when they're cleaning. Or it could just be the design refracts light different ways.
Fair enough. Yeah, I just wanted to know.
Yeah. Or it could be that it's got copper mixed in it.
Yeah, you never know.
Blair wants to know, modern Spanish gold Lynx coins, they would be nice to buy here in Oz.
We actually had a line on some late last year, and I was too slow getting the order in and they'd sold out. But I'm still keeping my eye out. I'd absolutely like to get some Lynx in. I think they are a beautiful coin. Dragging us back to postage, Tony Peterson's actually made a comment that apparently 500 grams to the US is $18 Australian. A kilo is $24 Australian. So that's someone's dragged that from somewhere. I'm not sure where, but that'd be about right. That's what I'd expect. And just on that, we've actually changed our postage slightly in that we've increased the bracket on. We used to charge $17.50 for one up to 500 grams for a parcel. I got told just before we came on live stream that we've actually pushed that out now, so it's only $17.50 all the way up to a kilo.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
So there you go.
There's a question there, and I'm not 100% sure which way they're around. They're kind of asking the question, but it's from Zambo. It says, got a 1871 gold Sydney Mint gold sovereign. What's it worth spot? Now, I'm not sure if they're asking what is it worth? Is it spot price? Or if they're asking what spot price is worth on it. If you're asking the spot price, I think it's around about $640 right now. But yeah, if you wanted to answer the other side of that.
It's absolutely worth spot. Now the question is, how much more than spot is it worth? An 1871 is a good one, but it's not super rare or anything along those sort of lines. If I'm correct with the Sydney Mint, I'm fairly sure I am on this one. So now it boils down to what condition is it in. If it's in uncirculated, absolutely it could be worth quite a bit. If it's been knocked around and well used, it's probably not worth much more than spot.
Peter Grace Miguide says, you should offer random buybacks on website in 10 ounce, half kilo and kilo lots, even if it's a get in line through the unallocated page.
Wow, wouldn't you like to be able to offer kilo lots of buybacks?
Well, either that or, yeah. Oh, I wasn't sure if that was through, in individual 1 ounces or just making sure that the kilo buybacks are actually up there just more often.
Well, he's looking at random, so he's looking at a mix through the whole lot.
Yeah. Well, it always surprises me how many places will kind of do mystery bags and things like that. Not necessarily just in the bullion space, but just, all over they'll do, that's it, $1,000 mystery box or, something like that. I've always been kind of hesitant about doing anything like that because, obviously the worry is, you get one that just has kangaroos in it or whatever because, that's what we've had sold back or whatever for the week or, something like that.
Yeah.
And you don't want any, I'm going to say negative press off that. But, that idea has always been floating out there. And I think there is actually quite a few people that would be interested in something like that.
People seem to think that we get buckets and buckets and buckets of buybacks.
No.
There are times when we do get a lot, but
basically whenever your hedging's not the way around you.
Yeah, the wrong way around. That's right. If I'm long silver, you guarantee we get a lot of buybacks in of silver. But a lot of people, particularly as we get out there on the front foot, and we say to people, if you're selling back a 1 ounce coin, absolutely we'll buy it back at spot, but you might want to think about selling it into the secondary market and you might get a bit more for it. So we certainly do get buybacks, but we don't get buckets and buckets of them. So we quite often get the request of, I want to buy, 100 buyback 1 ounce coins and I want them to be this. And people look at us funny when we go, we can't do that. Because we don't have this unending supply. It's not like we can, put in an order. Perth Mint kangaroos, I can pick up the phone and say, look, I want, 10,000 Perth Mint kangaroos. And sometimes they'll say yes to it. You can't do that with buybacks. It just depends on what comes through the door. So sometimes we get none. You'll get 2 or 3 weeks where you don't see a buyback, and then you hit January and every other customer is a buyback customer.
Nick says gold has had a great return since 1992 to now versus the S&P, FTSE, Dow Oil, and the US dollar. Why does Warren Buffett and others believe investing in precious metals doesn't offer a good return?
Because it's not a business.
It's wealth preservation, not a growing. Is that kind of...
Yeah, that's it. If you buy Warren Buffett's case, Warren Buffett doesn't buy, as a rule, he's not a big fan of real estate. He does own some, but he's not a big fan of real estate. He's not a big fan of the precious metals. Even oil, to a degree, he's not a big fan, although he does hold a fairly large oil holding at the moment, I'm led to believe. He buys businesses. And a business is going to give you a return, a dividend at the end of the day, and that's what he's looking for. So that's why he's not a fan of gold. It's purely, he's seeing it as it's a lump of metal. It doesn't do anything. I'm better off taking that X amount and investing it into a business because that's what he does. He's an expert at buying businesses and getting a return that way. And if you want to be an active fund manager and buy businesses, absolutely. I look at myself. I do hold gold as an insurance, but I get a higher return by my investment in Bullion Now than I do from my investment in my lump of gold that I've got sitting out the back. It's the same sort of thing.
There's something there that I actually didn't know. Apparently, and this is speculation because I haven't actually verified this or anything, but apparently Buffett did buy a large position in silver right after the Hunt brothers and was made to sell it back.
I don't know if he was made to sell it back or not. I couldn't answer that one. He did. He has. I think there's been 2 or 3 times where he's taken a large metal position, but he's looking at basically he's looking at he holds large amounts of cash, and he's looking at allocating that into something that he feels is secure rather than holding it in pure cash, and something that is underpriced that he can see a quick, and by quick I mean months to years, not days, but he can see a quick turnaround on from that perspective.
Chai says, have you ever thought of selling on eBay in Australia for your one-of-a-kind items or buybacks of semi-numismatics?
I can't say I would never do it, and we've never considered it, but the hassle of eBay, they charge us, I haven't looked it up for a while, so my numbers might be a little rusty. They charge you about 10% for the fees. Then you've got to offer PayPal, which is another, or whatever payment option they've got this week, which is another 3%. So automatically you've lost 13.5% on there. You've still got to take photos of it. You've got to write the listing and all one-offs. It's a pain in the neck to do. You also then, you're stuck with the eBay policies, which is effectively if you sell something to somebody and they say, I didn't receive it, it wasn't in the condition that I thought it was, all those sorts of things, eBay automatically say, right, we'll take that money straight back off you, and you have to prove to us beyond a shadow of doubt that it was actually shipped and the person took delivery of it, and you've got a signed copy of it, and every other proviso on there, and it can cost tens of thousands of dollars very, very, very quickly. So I'm fairly confident saying that Bullion Now will never have an eBay channel because I don't like eBay from that perspective. Stranger things have happened.
Have either of you guys heard of, where was that? The Maple Flex Bar. I gave it a little bit of a look, and it's very kind of similar, akin to the kind of Valcambi break-off things, but I think done,
Flex Bar.
Done through the Royal Canadian Mint. I have to admit I hadn't heard of them either.
They're cool.
Haven't heard of them, but they do look very cool. So thank you for bringing that one to our attention. There is, I'd say, particularly Michael, but experts on this stuff. But there's always random things that we go, hang on a minute, no, never heard of that one.
I wonder how long they've been kicking around for. And I've realised.
Are they still in production?
Yeah, either they're very old or they're very new, or I'm just blind as a bat. That wouldn't shock me. Look, there is so much stuff out there that to expect anyone to keep up with it is just a joke.
They say it has a face value unlike the combi bar. That's right for the regular combi bars, but they did the stars and they actually do have a face value on them. So
they're really cool. I'd like to see some of those in stock.
Um,
Ruben,
yeah.
Bullion, Germany, Berlin.
Yes.
Remind me.
All right. Let's we'll chase that up. Michael says, have you ever seen the Perth Mint minted bars with the eBay logo on them? When I research it, the community is confused. Some say they are all fake. Some say they never really existed.
This I could be proved wrong. I was about to say with the Flex bar, it's not like it's made in Australia, so therefore I know more about it. As far as I'm aware, Perth Mint's never produced an eBay bar, but I'm more than happy to be corrected on that.
Maybe on eBay it's being sold.
Well,
maybe produced and sold on eBay.
I don't understand why people buy bullion on eBay. I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, for certain collector coins, yeah, absolutely, but not as a general rule.
I wonder if it was potentially something that was photoshopped on or something.
I think that's photoshopped.
Well, yeah, but to indicate that it was, like a stock image or something like that. I'm not sure.
Ruben, when we're in Berlin, we've got a meeting with Neil. Remind me to ask him about the eBay bar.
Well, yeah, all right. We'll get some. We'll see if we can get some official word on. Yeah. Chai says, what does Michael think about Keith Urban, native Australian, pretending to be a cowboy and tricking the US people into thinking he is a country boy? You're our resident bogan, Michael. No.
I'm a bush pig, not a bogan.
Bush pig.
Look, I'm sure there are thousands of examples of other people that do that, so I have no opinion on it. Everyone, you go overseas. Sorry, I'm getting on a bandwagon here. You go overseas, and everyone thinks that we all get around on kangaroos, and everyone has a pet koala in the backyard and all that sort of stuff. It's the same as the Americans probably laugh at the images that we think they're all gun carrying rednecks, and I'm sure there's some out there, but there's most probably aren't. So it is what it is.
There was one here, and I think it was actually in relation to similar to another question we got on Wednesday that I don't think we actually got to hit. But when will we see the BN IPO? And that's it. Someone else was wondering if there was ever going to be shares available for BN.
Look, I got to be honest with you. I would actually love to see that. I think it would be great if we can have the Bullion Now family that we talk about. I would love it if they could take a shareholding in the company and actually make it part of everyone's. I think that would be fantastic. The legal hurdles that you'd have to cross in Australia would be incredible. So I don't know if it would ever happen, but I would love to see that happen at some stage.
This may not be one you want to answer, but I'm, again, just going to ask it anyway. What did you fly when you were a pilot? Thanks.
Anything that had wings. Fixed wings, not rotary wings. I have flown helicopters. I am terrible at it. It just didn't work for me.
There is a question here from the emails as well. I noticed the palladium section on the new website. I want to buy an ounce, and I don't mind about the GST. I called to inquire to see if there was any at the back, and was told that we only have some if a customer sells it back to us. I asked if I could pre-order/prepay for some, and was told that we don't do that. What is the point of having a palladium category if it's entirely dependent on buybacks for its stock?
It has... Ask me this question in a couple of months. We will get some new palladium in, don't stress. And the guys won't have known that, so I'm not criticising. I'm not trying to say they don't know what they're talking about, because they've probably asked me and I've probably come straight back with, I don't have any in buyback at the moment. Absolutely, the category is there. We are intending on having some items in there eventually.
Who does items in, do you, because I have actually seen some old kookaburras and things like that were, but can you think of any off the top of your head that of anyone that's currently producing, not necessarily saying this is what we get in, but
they do. I mean, Baird produce some of the overseas. Pamp does, but they're bars more than coins. I can't. Someone will correct me in the chat. I can't think of anyone producing a palladium coin currently. But yeah, we will get some in and we will populate it. It won't be a heck of a lot.
There's actually a question there from Admiral that I didn't realise. But yeah, does Perth Mint still do palladium coins? So hard to find any recent mintages. Is it lack of demand or lack of supply?
Yes. I think, like, traditionally my answer would have been lack of demand, but palladium is getting more and more of a following. So at the moment, I would say it's probably starting to swing the other way, where the refineries and mints haven't caught up, and it's a lack of supply now.
Zembo says, what's the best way to sell a whole old coin collection in one go?
Sell it back to a bullion dealer.
It depends on what your
the coins
definition.
are.
Well, I would say it depends on what your definition of best in. Are you talking speed? Are you talking price? Are you talking, someone who knows what they're talking about? Or I would say it depends on what you're looking to get out of it. Auction's kind of the classic go-to, but if you're not entirely sure what you have, and they then throw fees and whatever in there. You could sell back to a bullion dealer, but they may just be looking at it as spot and things like that. And sometimes a lot of coin collections like that, depending on who's been stacking it or collecting it, but we see a lot of coin collections like that come through with just kind of circulating coins and things like that, and not necessarily precious metal coins. You could sell to someone, on a third party site or something somewhere, but that opens up its own risks. I think it really depends on what you kind of what you're looking for to get out of it.
Start off with a coin shop that you trust. Take it in there and say, this is what I've got. Would you buy it back? And if so, at what price?
If any of the guys at the other end are watching, it looks like some people are chasing putting up more unallocated silver up on the website if we were able to do that. So
A few people are picking up on the float of shares in BN. Just let us get the computer system sorted first. After that, we might have a conversation. But at this stage, stand by.
Can we do a video on a large buyback to show the US viewers what it looks like and what kind of stuff we get?
Yeah, we've done videos on large buybacks. Remember, we used to do the epic buybacking.
Yeah.
And we'd show, mountains of stuff that we'd bought back. I can remember doing some on. We had a whole stack of kilo bars sold back.
Sell us back a mountain of stuff and we'll do a video on it.
That's right. We have to be a little bit careful with it for a couple of reasons. You obviously don't want to show anyone's, something that can identify anyone. So if there's a collection of stuff that is recognisable, they're older bars, they're recognisable stuff, we probably can't show that because we don't want people going, oh, that's Bill Smith's collection. So a little bit careful there. We also have to be careful that we put those things up and people say, oh, I'll buy. And all of a sudden we've generated all these emails and phone calls and people dropping into the shop for something that has either already sold or that, we can't process that quickly and we need to throw up on the web. So there's a couple of reasons why we don't do it with everyone that comes in. But absolutely, when we get interesting buybacks in that we think we can do that with, we absolutely do a video on it.
Any idea, this is an email question, any idea when the next in the 5 ounce series is coming in? This is the Queen's Virtue series. Still 4 to go.
I don't actually, and that's actually something I'd like to hit the Royal Mint up with when we. No, it's not Royal Mint. It's I can't remember who produces them now. But yeah, it's a conversation point I want to have when we get into Berlin.
Yeah, it's the same guys that do the St. Helena stuff, and I think it's through the thing of St. Helena, but it's one of the US guys I think that maybe does it. Are we going to get any more of those 5 ounce PAMP platinum bars through again?
Short answer is yes. Longer answer is it's not going to be tomorrow. It's going to be a couple of months down the track.
Michael says, is the argument that the Australian government confiscating our PMs a valid concern? To me, it seems absurd. If the government wanted money, they could find easier ways to do it. I'm putting you on the spot on this one.
Look, I don't mind the question. It's not like we haven't answered this question in Storm any time. I'm just trying to think through how to answer it on a live stream. 2-3 years ago, if I'd said to you, the government is going to lock us in our I'm Victorian, going to lock us in our homes for an unknown length of time, you would have laughed hysterically at me. Do I think it likely? No, but I wouldn't have thought the other example I just gave you was even slightly likely. I agree, there are far easier ways to do it. I worked for the Australian Securities and Investment Commission for a period of time in my much younger days when I had colour in my hair. and
Pre-2019
real
BN.
colour, yeah, like not fake colour, like the actual colour of my hair. And I dealt with superannuation back then, and they were bringing through changes to the superannuation, major changes to the law about every 2 to 4 weeks. There was a major change come through, and even back then, the government was trying to get their fingers on the on Australians' superannuation, which they're still trying to do. And that's both parties. That's not a dig at either Liberal or Labor. They've both had a fair crack at it, and it's for your benefit. You can't be trusted with your superannuation, so we will look after it for you. We will invest it in Australia building projects, and we will provide you with something akin to a pension when you get to a certain age. And it's all for your well-being, obviously. So look, I agree. I think there are far easier ways where they could flick a switch and basically take the superannuation funds. But could it be done? Absolutely, it could be done. Will it be done? I tend to agree with you. I think it's unlikely, but it's certainly, as I said, it wasn't that long ago where I would have laughed at you if you'd said they were going to lock us in our houses.
Business idea. Customer drops off numismatic or collectible coin for auction at BN. They sell it on site and freight it to buyer, and BN takes a cut of the sale price, and customer gets better than spot.
Love the idea. The practicalities of it are painful because it's not in the condition that the person thought it was when they bought it. They don't like it. They change all the things that we deal with our stock. You've got that extra layer of complication because now you're the middleman between two private people, and it reflects when it goes pear-shaped, it reflects very badly on BN, even though we've got nothing to do with it.
And it hasn't come new from a mint, unlike our stock. It has actually been sitting, in someone's safe or something like that beforehand. So the potential for it to have, a scratch or finger marks or whatever is that much higher.
Well, and also this person is talking about numismatic coins, which we don't typically deal with. So
yeah, and you're looking at, the coin's in fantastic condition, but there's a tiniest little mark on the box. And then, we sell that, transaction takes place. We send it out because we're the middleman, and you receive it and you go, well, hang on, this mark has occurred. I didn't know it was on there. I don't want it because it's now devalued it. I wouldn't have bid quite so much. We go back to the person who's selling it, and he said, well, look, the mark wasn't there beforehand. It must have happened while it was in your care or when you shipped it. Yeah. And all of a sudden, I'm in the meat in the middle of a sandwich, and I'm not really enjoying it.
However, that doesn't mean I don't think it's not a good idea. I absolutely think there's a gap in the market for something like that. And that's it. There are we get all sorts of comments, emails, mentions of people saying, well, hey, what do I do with my stuff that is, slightly numismatic? How do I sell that? Things like that. And I honestly think that would be a good way for someone to do it.
Eventually, we will come up to a good solution to this question, but at the moment, we don't have it.
I'm just gonna quickly check in. I wonder what's our auction going up to. Let me check a refresh on that. It's at just over $1,800.
Still a bargain if you ask me.
From $1 to $1,800.
I know I'm selling it, so you got to take that with a grain of salt. But have a look around at what they're selling for now.
I haven't actually checked that for a while. I checked, I think, one of the previous, I want to say Mouse or Ox a little while ago, and I was surprised at those.
Yeah.
But I haven't actually checked the Tigers.
I got quite a surprise, actually. I was talking to Brett this morning, and we were looking at the gold rectangular, last year's now, I suppose, 2022 gold rectangular Dragon. They're selling on eBay now at around $3,800.
Yeah.
That's far out. I was quite shocked.
Platinum Tigers are currently selling for up to $2,700.
Yeah. Oh, that I'd believe. Yeah. So it's we're not trying to drive the price up. This is just a general conversation. Yeah. Do your own research on this one.
There was a comment here to do with some XRF stuff. So I'm going to be honest. There's a lot of this that is going to go over my head, but it's an important issue, and even if we just basically address it, I think it's important. It says, hi guys, we got a viewer from Budapest, Hungary.
Hey!
I saw you tested a fake minted bar in a blister pack on the Olympus Vanta XRF. I am studying now what are the advantages and and limitations of XRF testing. I'd love to have a Gold Expert or Niton DXL, but they're just very expensive. Anyway, my question is this. If a XRF can analyze 71 microns in depth in gold, then how can a fake bar that is very possibly very nicely plated with fine gold be measured?
Do I look like a physicist? Like, when did I put that on my resume?
We actually had a while ago some fakes come through that weren't just copper, nickel, the kind of standard stuff we see, but they were actually quite I'd say heavily plated in gold. They weren't just copper nickel. They did actually have at least a very thin element of gold to them. And so and you've said this before, but there's other things you can look for when it comes to testing fakes. You're not just pointing it at it, pulling the trigger, and going, oh yeah, whatever this says is gospel. Is gospel. That's it. The bar I'm thinking of, well, actually it was actually a little bit light. It didn't feel right in the hand. The color was a bit off.
The size, the shape.
Exactly. And so even though, and the XRF did actually pull it up and said, hang on a minute, yes, it's testing as gold, but I don't like this. But yeah, there's other things to consider there. And so, the other thing we say is that the XRF isn't the only thing that's, again, it isn't the be-all and end-all, and it isn't the thing we use for every situation. There are certain bars and things like that we would go, well, hang on a minute. It would be actually pretty hard for a machine like this to test right into the center. So, like we did with the 1,000-ounce bar, we're not looking, we're not XRFing just the top of that and going, yep, that's absolutely what is in there the entire way through.
But I'm not cutting up every 1,000-ounce bar that comes in.
Yeah, we may not be quite so dramatic about it, but there's density checks, there's other things we can do to actually verify some of those larger bars, or ones that we still have a question mark over even after using the XRF. So I know that's not going to answer your question anywhere near as technically as you've phrased it, because you've actually included a US professor's answer below there as well that has all sorts of science that is going to go completely over my head, and probably all of ours here, to be honest. But that's going to be my answer to you. We're not just relying on that.
The answer I'd give you is, just because I've got a spanner and I know how to use it doesn't mean I know how to rebuild a car. It's not the only tool we use. You're relying on, I know how to use it. I know how to use it to analyse bullion that comes through. It comes through to the skill of the operator, as Ruben said, size, shape, colour, all those types of things. All play into it. It's just one of the many tools that a good operator uses when they use the XRF. You're absolutely right. It only goes microns. You're saying 71 microns. I'll believe you. I couldn't actually tell you exactly how many microns in it goes, but it only goes a certain depth. Usually what happens is, I would argue that it probably goes in deeper, because usually what happens is it gets confused. It starts going, well, I'm testing this, but there's something not right about it. And it's very rare that we get a fake where we don't at least get a confused message from it, whether that be I'm measuring a metal that I don't normally think is in there, whether I think it's got a plating and it will actually give us alert for platings, or whether it just uses, it'll say 2% gold, 98% LE, which means, I don't know, there's something else in here, but I don't know what it is. So there's all sorts of things that go towards the XRF and how it's used.
There's a couple of questions there about PAMP for tuner bars. One about the 1 ounce ones and if the premiums have started to come down, and someone else asking if we're likely to get the 1 kilos through.
The premiums on the silver haven't come down, and
they went nuts. I remember seeing them online for like $80 plus in some situations. They were just very hard to get in Australia at the time. I'm not sure about the rest of the world. But yeah, some of the premiums were going nuts on those, and there were still people buying them at that.
They're a beautiful bar. The problem if we were a coin shop, I would have no problem bringing them in, because people anticipate paying a higher premium. They're happy
to get a specific item.
Yeah, they're okay to pay $80 on a 1 ounce silver coin bar, because that's the circle they move in. When you're a bullion dealer and you import something, a 1 ounce coin or bar in silver, and you throw it up on the website for $80, you get accused of price gouging, ripping people off. They're the most expensive place on earth.
We're looking at you, American Eagles.
It's like the bad press that we get from it, and the pushback we get, it's just not worth it. So
The follow-up question from Odd Job there is, would Little Coin Shop ever do it then?
possibly, but I've always guided Little Coin Shop to stay away from bullion. Bullion is BN's side. So look, it does stock bullion on the odd occasion, but it's not something it tends to target. And also, you've got the added problem there of, people will say, well, I'm happy to buy one. As a bullion dealer, don't take this out of context, because every time I say it, I get a whole stack of, look, I'm really sorry, I only buy one coin and obviously you don't like my business. That's not what I'm saying. I'm a coin collector. We value every single coin sale we get, whether it's one coin or 101,000 coins. That's not what I'm saying here. But we actually, as a business, if our business model was based on people buying one coin and one coin only, we would go broke fairly rapidly.
On their quest to figure out exactly what planes you used to fly, did you fly the DC-3? That's my favorite old school plane of all time.
How old do you think I am? Yes, actually, I've flown the DC-3.
You can't take offense if that's the answer. Oh, dear. Admiral says, what's the biggest silver bar you guys have ever done? My local dealer in Brisbane maxes out at 5 kilos. Bigger would look so cool, but wouldn't be practical.
1,000 ounce, 32 kilos.
Yeah, the industrial big boys.
Can we get bigger than that?
Ooh.
There is not. The short answer is yes.
But
the
why?
longer answer is there is no. I would have to put in a request for one. There is no one. The 1,000 ounce bar is what's considered to be the industrial LBMA standard size bar. So I off the top of my again, someone will correct me in the chat. I am sure that there is Fanta. Seriously, mate, there will be someone in the chat that will correct me, but there is no refinery that I can think of that produces anything larger than a 1,000 ounce bar as standard. But absolutely, I could put in a special request.
What are the dimensions on the
into a OH&S issue as well?
Yeah, that's right. And I couldn't tell you the dimensions of any bar that we've currently got in stock.
If you manage to find one that washed up on a beach,
that's right.
Yeah.
If that was one of ours, seriously, there is no way on earth I would be able to go, yeah, that's ours, because it's 36.3 centimetres long, and I'd be lucky in that I could say, look, I've got 1,000 invoices for them, and I'm sure that the serial number, if there's a serial number stamped on the bar, it will be on one of the invoices from where I've bought it from someone, because we tend to record the invoice, the serial numbers on those things. But that's be as good as I could ever get.
I think we start to wind up. There's a couple of quick ones there I want to hit. Peter Grace McGuide wants to give him a call regarding something. I will endeavour to do that, or at least send you an email, failing that. I saw a video on the Perth Mint 1 ton coin. What do you think about that? We got to see it.
We got to see it. Remember the comment that was made? I don't think we want to put it on air.
No,
but,
it's a very cool coin, though.
It's a very cool coin, and we love it.
E says, LCS question, please. Was there a Simpsons family coin?
Yes.
There was.
2 ounce. Lasted all of about 3 seconds in stock.
Went pretty quick.
Yeah,
I think
worth a fortune.
they did some in cards, and they also did some not in cards from memory. Or are you talking about
No, even going back further than that.
the ones in the boxes?
Yeah. Yeah, they
right.
did a family one. Worth a fortune these days.
There you go. All right. I think we wind it up there, because we've just crossed over the hour and a half mark. So is there anything?
Good grief.
Yeah, it's gone quick. Is there anything you wanted to finish up with? Go through the ending on the auctions and on the auction rather, and anything there. What are our plans for next week? Are we streaming again?
Oh, I'm just glad we got to the end of this week. I haven't thought about next weekend. Look, absolutely, we will do a live stream on Wednesday. Yes, we will do a live stream on Wednesday.
Are you committing to it to be live?
2:30. I'm fairly sure it's going to be live. We will do a live stream next Wednesday at 2:30. The Friday live stream has a question mark over it, Rubes. I haven't talked to you about that yet. But the Friday live stream does have a question mark over it at this stage. But our endeavour is to do it. So we will try and do it, but it may just not be possible. But we will give you a heads up beforehand, so don't stress
I'll put up a poster or a video.
too much about that. So yeah, tune in 2:30 on Wednesday. That one's less. We take it a bit more seriously. Not that we take anything really seriously, I suppose. Oh, no, that's not true. That sounded terrible. I didn't mean it like that.
Your bullion needs are taken very seriously.
Very seriously. We're very
Thanks
serious.
for keeping us on track, Lewis.
We're very serious about providing good customer service for you, but we are pretty relaxed. So, but Wednesday's a bit more like it's an hour or so of you having, assuming the internet plays ball, it's an hour of you having access directly to a bullion dealer and to ask those really sticky questions that you're just not sure how to ask or who to ask or that sort of thing. And the stickier the better. We're quite happy to answer pretty much anything. Yeah, I'm sorry, Odd Job. I actually felt that 2/3 of the way through. I thought I'm hogging the show and I haven't let Lewis speak pretty much at all through this show, which has been terrible. Yeah, so stay tuned for that on a Wednesday. We've got some releases, some unboxings next week. We're going to do a bit of education next week. Ruben's looking at me like, really?
Let's do it. I'm up for it.
Yeah, so stay tuned for all that sort of stuff. Stop by the store if you can, level 6, 227 Collins Street in Melbourne. A lot of people stopping by from interstate at the moment because they're holidaying in Melbourne for a short period, or they're down for the tennis, which I believe starts next week.
Or they're down to come to Bullion Now.
They're bound, yeah.
Well, Lewis is a
the expert at that.
Yeah.
Swinging
Proud
from
of it.
interstate to just stop by the BN.
Yeah, so come on in to Bullion Now. Come and say good day. Come and pick up a super priced buyback. All those good things that we do over the counter a lot more easily than online. If you can't make it in, feel free to give us a call, 1300 84 84 10. Send us an email, sales@bullionnow.com.au. Tune in to our all the good goss on YouTube. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, all those good things that we talk about. And I think that's it.
Thank you all for watching us.
Thank you.
And I'm going to Elton John tonight.
Hey!
But as a sidestep from that actually wasn't what I was going to say. There is a Star Wars announcement booked in for next Friday if we manage to do the live stream.
Oh, all right.
Remind me about it.
God.
It's a very exciting, incredibly limited edition.
I'll look forward to it. All right. We'll see you all next time.
See ya.
See ya.
His mates will tell you he's a real top bloke. His real name is Barry, but his mates call him Bazza, and his girlfriend's name is Sharon, but you just call her Shazza. Real top Sheila, real top sword. She'll even change your stubby while you're watching sport. But don't victimize him for his way of life. He's sick and tired of hearing people say nobody likes a bogan. Nobody likes a bogan. He drives a VK Commodore with alloy wheels, with a homemade spoiler made of crappy steel, pair of floppy dice and all the other toys, but his no fear sticker is his pride and joy. Saturday night, the boys hit town, yeah, they're cruising the streets with their windows down. Put on some Barnsley and they're on their way. You'll hear the car coming from a mile away. But don't victimize him for his way of life. He's sick and tired of hearing people say nobody likes a bogan. Nobody likes a bogan. Hey! Nobody likes a bogan. Nobody likes a bogan. Nobody likes a bogan. Nobody likes a bogan. He's the king of fashion in his neighbourhood, with his red blue jeans and a flannel shirt, a well-kept mullet and a packet of smokes. His mates will tell you he's a real top